a fat house who gets fat even if he drinks water, actually woke up. The ghost hammer that only monsters can comprehend. The conditions that can make a monster break out of this fateful ghost. A monster that can awaken the ghost hammer. All of them have the power to crush the demons. Ms. Kui and the fat little guy who confessed his tragedy last night. The other party rejected him because he also wanted to study hard. Disheartened and speechless. Come to the playground after school. The good brothers who saw this immediately understood. Knowing that his confession failed. So he quickly comforted him. Suddenly, a football exploded towards them. Galloping. Block the speeding football without even looking at it. This move saw my good brother's CPU burn out. I have never seen it myself. Such an incredible thing. Myung Choi Siu loves sports very much. And extremely talented. Caloric intake will be strictly calculated for each meal. Skip 1,000 ropes a day. Run 10 kilometers. But I still can't lose any weight. The hospital examination said it may be a genetic obesity problem. Kui Shia laughed bitterly after hearing this. If only this was the reason. Own mother. When she was young, she was a beauty who was popular on campus. Dad is a very famous wrestler. His record and strength are unprecedented. No one will come after. Mother once said. My father has a physique where he can grow muscles even just by breathing. Obviously the diagnosis made by the hospital is not valid. You must know that people who have lost love will turn their grief into strength. Kui Shia ran 20 kilometers that night. But when he looked up again. But I found myself in a strange place. The next second, a dark shadow appeared on the viaduct. He obviously looks like a fat pig. But he can run dozens of kilometers a night. It seems that bloodline really cannot be deceived. White-haired old man. He teleported in front of Kui Shia. My name is Old Man Butai. He's responsible for looking after the monsters here. The judge looked in front of him and talked nonsense. The old man Kui Shia who was talking nonsense looked confused. Look at your reaction. He must know nothing about it. Then the old man took out a big cloth bag. Heading towards Kui Shia newspaper agency in an instant. Kui Shia was wrapped into a rice dumpling. No matter how he breaks free. They're all getting tighter and tighter, like being tied up by a rope. When Kui Shia fell out of the bag. The scene before him made him break out in a cold sweat. I saw 2 moons in the sky. And the surrounding environment is as gloomy as hell. At this time, Old Man Bude welcomes you to the demon world. Use your eyes to carefully check your surroundings. I saw dozens of monsters around me constantly leaning against him. Although I can't believe it. But the scene in front of me is real. At this time, the old man Butai spoke again. Every 666 years in the demon world, a grand ceremony will be held to select the king of monsters. The precepts include this place. Monsters all over the world. All must come from within one's own clan. Select young monsters with extraordinary talents. Participate as a candidate. And 666 years ago, there is a peerless monster. He single-handedly became the king of our monsters. And now looking at the demon world and the human world, inherited the blood of ghosts. You are the only one, Choi Si-woo. However, it has been passed down to Kui Shia for 5 generations. So he only has a little bit of blood. A huge amount of information poured into Kui Shia's head instantly. Just when he wanted to ask. A black shadow leaped hundreds of meters into the sky. And it fell down in an instant. Let's try it now. Is it hopeless waste? Only in front of you. A 100-meter tall giant-mouthed ghost stands in front of Shiyu. Defeat him and you can eat him. At this moment, the giant-mouthed ghost is already very hungry and thirsty. He hasn't eaten human flesh in 600 years. I can't wait to put Kui Shiyu in front of me into my mouth immediately. At this time, the giant-mouthed ghost suddenly rushed towards Shiyu. The fist hit him hard in the abdomen. Shijir was hit so hard that he couldn't stand up on the spot. If you want to live, then prove yourself. Ordinary human beings. It is impossible to give you the right to participate in the memorial ceremony. At this time, Shijir was rejected again. Hit the ground. Although this blow caused the stone fish to vomit 2.5 kilograms of blood. But he suffered a severe blow. The body is still sound. Just as the giant mouth ghost delivers its final blow. But it stopped 2.5 meters above the ground. Only a figure was seen. Tremblingly, he carried the falling giant. The sturdy old man's eyes widened on the spot. Since ancient times, ghosts have endless power. Their most representative abilities and weapons. That means you can master the monster's moves without having to learn them. In an instant, he raised his fallen giant palm and then a ghostly wrestling technique comes to mind. Wait until the smoke and dust dissipates in the fairy mountain. I saw a black shadow slowly emerging. Kui Shio's race as a ghost has awakened. Choi Sokwu wakes up, surprised at the changes in myself. After the old man made sure that he had recovered. Then he came over with a white-haired girl. But Kui Shio was immediately frightened by the fallen giant mouth ghost. A series of doubts appeared in his mind. Seeing this, the white-haired girl sighed in disappointment. I didn't expect the rumored ghost disguise to be so weak. Does this guy really have the blood of the Ghost King in his body? Even though he defeated the giant mouth monster, it was nothing more than that. Because he only relies on the strength of his physical body, rather than magic. This is Kui Shio. Disrupt their conversation carefully. Ask test end. Can he go home? The next second the old man Biutai teleported in front of him. Just listen to what he said. Before Kui Shio woke up, the ghosts and monsters around him were very aggressive towards him, eyeing a human with the blood of the Ghost King. Very attractive to them. But now that Kui Shio has passed the test, the old man can't let him go. So he asked the ghosts gathered here to testify. From today, Kui Shio is a veritable ghost. Then these ghosts left and spread the news that Kui Shio became a half-demon. And Kui Shio's name was registered on the list of ghosts. Thus, there would be no reason for other ghosts to attack him. But the girl said that he still can't go home now, unless he can hide his ghostly abilities well. A ghost suddenly less than 500 years old. You cannot enter the human world rashly. Time and doubt. Does this matter? The words just fell. The old man Biutai burst out with powerful momentum. Speeding and seeing this, he immediately stepped back. But the old man just wanted to scare him. The purpose is to test whether he can control the power of ghosts. Apparently Kui Shio just woke up. I can't completely control this power. Because of his power. More powerful than ordinary ghosts. Even without training. There are also dozens of times that of ordinary people. Therefore, he can easily hurt humans if he is not careful. But if you ask him to wait 500 years, it's really too long. The old man explains. In fact, it only takes half a year. The 500-year restraining order was made by the current Ghost King. But before 666. At that time, all ghosts can freely enter and exit the human world. So every time darkness falls, many humans have been eaten by ghosts. But not all ghosts are hostile to humans. Some ghosts friendly to humans will still protect them. So humans in the past treated ghosts with nothing but fear. They will also kneel down to express their awe. However, the current Ghost King came to power. A 500-year restraining order was issued. It is forbidden for ghosts to harm or even approach humans. This also caused humans to gradually forget the existence of ghosts and monsters. But half a year later, the Ghost King is about to abdicate. At that time, the new Ghost King will have the power to rewrite the restraining order. The moment when the Night of Ghosts comes, all ghosts will invade the human world, awakening forgotten fears and awe in human hearts. And Kui Shio, only within half a year can you master your own power. He has the ability to change all this. So how powerful does he need to be? Kui Shio's eyes became very firm. In order to make another restraining order to restrain the ghosts, he must become the new Ghost King. And Kui Shio, as long as half of the power of the blood vessels can be exerted, just enough to protect his friends and family. But his strength. Now I am not even qualified to run for election. At this time, the old man introduced the white-haired girl next to him. His name is Snowflake, also a candidate for Ghost King. He did it to get the old man's approval. Will appear here. Because he was young. I also want to enter the human world quickly. Hearing this, Kui Shio looked confused. Is there any other way to get home? In fact, except for many 500-year-old ghosts, there are also a few recognized ghosts lurking in the human world. And Snowflake, who is more confident in ghost arts and power. The reason why I have never been qualified to enter It is precisely because he lacks the necessary patience and self-control. And now there is just an opportunity to test him. That is being a human cook. No one is better suited to test snowflakes. As long as snowflakes can make it within a month. Teach Kui Shio well. So, the old man can let the two of them enter the human world. The snowflakes are less than a month old. What can he learn? However, the old man Biutai is not used to it. If Snowflake can't accept it, just wait until 6. After the month. Do you want to teach him? Depends on yourself. Then he didn't wait for Suihua to recover for him. The old man wrapped himself in a cloth bag. He disappeared in the next second. The helpless Snowflake randomly asked Kui Shio, "Do you know what demon power is?" As expected, Kui Shio has no idea about this. But the next second, Kui Shio's eyes widened. Only behind the snowflakes, the giant mouth ghost that originally fell got up again. He warned Snowflake the little fox. "That human is my prey." But Suihua didn't take him seriously at all. "It's all because of a lowly thing like you. That's why ghosts were insulted by humans." The Venian Jumbo was instantly exposed and launched an attack. Completely different from humans. There are significant differences in the race and lineage of ghosts. The higher class race, not only does it have greater potential, and also has strong racial talents. And now the ghost closest to the top of the pyramid. It is the nine-tailed fox, a race known as the evil monster. Faced with a huge mouth that doesn't know the heights of the sky, Xuerhua showed off his skills and tied him up. And looking at the exploding scene in front of me, Kui Shio was shocked and speechless. As he saw, the strange ability used by Snowflake is magic. But it will consume your own energy and physical fitness. Magic is divided into two types, innate and acquired. The wrestling techniques of devastation and awakening are innate magic arts. Innate magic. Only the exclusive racial bloodline can be awakened. Acquired magic can be understood through training. Snowflake then used the example of a giant mouth ghost. He has not learned sorcery. Just a waste using brute force. Although Suihua has decided to teach Kui Shio. But if he doesn't have the determination to persevere, it's better to give up as soon as possible. Do not waste time. Venian's urging an assurance that he will pay maximum effort. Although Suihua thinks that there is a high probability that he will fail. But it's better than not trying. Let's go have dinner first after Seal Huitai. As he said before, casting sorcery consumes energy. But in fact, as long as you stay in the ghost world, through breathing and eating, normally restores energy in the body. But Kui Shio, who just came to the ghost world, don't have this ability yet. Suihua guessed that he must be very hungry now. Just finished speaking, he felt a huge thrust. I saw the meridians on his arm explode instantly. And this is exactly the sign of exhaustion of energy. The solution is also very simple. That is to eat the giant mouth monster in front of you. Once a duel begins between ghosts and monsters. So, the power of life and death of the loser is in the hands of the saint. So Kui Shio can definitely eat the giant mouth ghost. Replenish energy. Hear the words. His body instinctively moved towards the giant mouth ghost. A feeling of hunger spread rapidly in his body. And the charming words of the nine-tailed fox. It also aroused his desire to eat. At this time, Snowflake obviously underestimated the greedy nature of the ghost. Compared to the lowly and ugly giant-mouthed ghost, the noble nine-tailed fox is obviously more hearty and delicious. Immediately afterwards, Kui Shio lost her mind and launched an attack. The strong Snowflake doesn't panic. I saw him slip into the void. The energy of communication is heading towards Kui Shio newspaper agency. And he is still tightly bound by the palace. Just when Suihua was arrogantly preaching to him, the knight actually broke the chain abruptly. At this moment, even Snowflake was shocked by his arm strength. Next second, Kui Shio's figure appeared in front of him. But very agile snowflakes. Or can you easily avoid it? Seeing that Kui Shio has completely lost her mind, Snowflake decided to beat him until he wakes up. So he took off his nail strips without changing his expression. When Kui Shio rushed over again, he has already drawn a bloody human spring in the air. Just listen to the words in his mouth. Then a giant red fist hit Kui Shio. Kui Shio was caught off guard and resisted the blow. The giant fist has turned into a 5-finger mountain, patted towards him. Even though Kui was well defensive, but he was insignificant under the surging power. And the ones who suffered were the tide giants. He is tied up, instantly turned into a pool of blood. Just worry about snowflakes. Will Kui Shiu be beaten to death by himself? I saw his figure slowly revealed in the smoke and dust. However, what surprised Snowflake was that Kui Shiu actually had a horn growing on her head. The rumored ghost that can grow bloody horns. All are strong men with overwhelming power. I saw Kui Shiu reaching out to touch the horn. He was almost gone within a second. All of a sudden, the horn turned into a black sword. A half-ghost who has only been awake for 2.5 minutes. It actually made a genius with 9 tails move. Moved 5 tails. Because he also awakened the ghost technique that has not been used for 100 years. Even snowflakes feel danger, because of the oppression unleashed by the Goblin hammer. It even exceeds Kui Shi's own demonic power. The next moment he jumped into the air and released his skills. Goblin hammer. Morphological changes. Thunderstorm thunderbolt. The violent thunder struck down, rolling up dust and smoke. After a while, snowflakes appeared in the smoke. Behind him, the huge red hand holds the ghost hammer tightly. Then he waved his giant hand and threw Kui Shiu into the air. Smash it to the ground. Snowflakes should not be careless. He knew that this attack was not enough. I guess I'll have to fall 5 or 6 more times before I wake up. So we gathered together and raised the snowflakes again, but looked shocked. A figure Kui Shi emerged from the smoke and dust. You actually withstood the strength of the gathering. Even though it's just one hand. But that's the hand of the demon-suppressing emperor. Then just use your hand to tighten it. Take back the goblin hammer. Use form changes again. This time it transformed into a hammer of destruction and attacked the giant beast. This scene made Suihua start to get serious. Because Kui Shiu's efficiency in using demonic power and ability to use have reached an incredible level. Summon another behemoth. Kui Shiu quickly swallowed the ghost hammer to resist. He can actually take this move. It was Snowflake who finally realized, why are ghosts so popular? A newly awakened ghost can be so good at pretending to be a ghost. But it's still just waking up. Demonic power is limited. It should be almost reaching the limit. Don't stop him. He will die due to exhaustion of demon power. Realize this. Snowflakes once again drew a bloody circle in the void. This time, 5 tails were directly summoned. At this time, Kui Shiu's giant hammer was about to hit. But Snowflake smiled instead. Because this is the first time he has used this trick in actual combat. Only behind him, a figure that looks like Guangong emerges. It's the demon-suppressing emperor. But only the upper body. Although it is consistent with the attack at this time. The earth falls into hands. The thief's mouth explodes. Low level. 5 levels and 6 cuts. Facing Kui and Pixuan. A huge wave of energy. Cover Kui with. It left a deep hole in the ground. Finally Kui was subdued. But it seems it's too late. Because the demon power is exhausted. His body is falling apart. Snowflake could only sigh when she saw this. About to leave, Shi Yu, whose mother was unconscious, suddenly shed tears. Calling mom. Seeing this scene, Snowflake couldn't help but turn around. Demonic power emerges in hand. Pull Shi Yu in front of you. The next moment he kissed Kui Shiu. Turned out to be. He treasured his demon power in the fox demon bead. Transmitted to Kui Shi. Early next morning. Kui Shi wakes up. I saw the snowflakes coming in. Get up quickly and apologize. In fact, when he was going berserk. Consciousness is awake. But I can't control my body. Fortunately, Snowflake didn't take it to heart. Let him drink the medicine while it's hot. But what is this? I just vomited and felt nauseous. Snowflake told him. If only he knew what it was. I can't drink anymore. Anyway, just drink the medicine and it'll be fine. Then he told Shi Yu. Just when they were fighting. The giant-mouthed monster took the opportunity to escape. But according to the rules of monsters, he still belongs to Kui Shiu. But he will definitely hide very well. After all, he also knows. Once it appears, it will be eaten. For pretending to be a ghost. He is the best tonic. Although for Shiu, who was still a human yesterday, it's really hard to accept eating a monster. But now he must become stronger as soon as possible. If it can't be done, then a few months later, the people he cares about will suffer. So no matter what, as long as I can become stronger, he will do it. But for monsters, the most effective way to increase your demonic power, just eat other monsters. But only in a duel where both parties reach a consensus can do this. Otherwise, those weak monsters would have been eaten up long ago. The question before Shiu now is, he won't have another chance like the one with Gawker, because many monsters have seen it. The scene where he defeats the giant mouth monster. It will soon spread throughout the demon world. So those weaker than him will avoid him. And anyone who takes the initiative to challenge him must be stronger than him. But Snowflake naturally has a way to solve it. He suddenly asked Shiu to follow him outside. He said he had prepared a gift for him. Come out and take a look. Aphasia, shocked. Snowflake actually tied up a monster. Not exactly. He is a monster who has lost his right to be a monster. It's because he's been swallowed up by instinct. Lost my mind. And make mistakes that can never be undone. The monster clan will brand such monsters as beasts. And take away the rights as a monster. The demon clan calls them Yaksha ghosts. So this is edible. Not only that, this Yaksha ghost was originally very famous among the Tengu clan. But in order to participate in the festival, committed the crime of kidnapping a monster and eating it. Also because of the demonic power that exceeds one's own capacity. And finally fell into madness. It is most suitable to use it as a sparring partner for cooking language. After all, we are in dire straits. It is the best training method to stimulate potential. Xuehua originally thought that the poetry could not last more than a few rounds. Even if I see that he is very flexible, evaded attacks from Yaksha ghosts many times, I still think that I can only hide for a little longer. But Shiyu's actions at the next moment made his eyes widen. I saw Shiyu posing in a very standard boxing posture. Using skill and uppercut, he hit Yasha right in the middle. After all, Shiyu once practiced boxing in order to lose weight. His talent even made the coach want to take him on as his apprentice. Systematic learning of boxing will represent the boxing gym in the future. But Shiyu's purpose in learning boxing, it's really just to lose weight. No matter how hard you try, it's useless. But he never gave up. There are 16 kinds of sports that I have been exposed to since I was a child. Among them, there are as many as 7 kinds of beans. Although I failed to lose weight successfully. But the hard work he put in half a month. Born. Let him absorb it completely. The essence of these 7 fighting sports. Snowflake was shocked. Shiyu actually relied on his fighting skills. Knocked down the Yaksha ghost. But now there is a problem. How should Shiu eat this Yaksha ghost?